What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response, and we're going in on another debate today, folks. I got David Pakman, as I'm sure you've seen with the thumbnail. I love going in on David Pakman. This guy, he's so shallow and vapid and just a manipulative person. It's just lovely to put facts in their face and just destroy these people outright. And that's what Piers Morgan does on this debate. And I love these people. And if you love these debates, do me a big favor. I'm going to get this out the way right quick. You guys smash the like button for me. I really need y'all's help tremendously. I really need y'all's help to smash that like button. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button for me if you don't mind. I'm trying to grow the channel, if you will, so that really helps y'all. YouTube has put me in a box, or actually I should say I put myself in a box, but you know, YouTube actually did it, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But y'all, smash the like button, subscribe, share this video with anybody and everybody, and for all you David Pakman supporters out there, let me know how wrong I am.
And there he is in his hatch, having fries and fries, handing out packages. And yet all I saw from the left was a lot of scorn and mockery, as if somehow him doing this was something to be laughed at. I did not see it that way. I thought this was really smart politics by Trump. And actually what the Democrats should have done was just very quickly move on and find something better to talk about, rather than looking like they think this is somehow all rather demeaning. Because that's not how regular Americans would have seen it. Discuss.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I spoke about this 5 minutes on Monday, and I've moved on, so I agree with you. I mean, I'm only talking about it now because you brought it up. I don't think it was as brilliant as maybe you're suggesting. You know, they closed down a store and hurt that store financially on that day in terms of sales. And Trump, at the end of the day, saw it as something to help him. If he had gone there, well, hold on a second. I'm one sentence in. If he had gone there and said, I put on the apron, I did the fry-a-later, and now I recognize that a $7.25 minimum wage, which has been the same almost 20 years, isn't going to cut it, that would have been really interesting and shown he cares about someone other than himself. Instead, it was about rehearsed drive-through and wearing the apron and pretending to know what's going on. I'm going to jump in. And it's Kamala Harris who said, I support a $15 an hour minimum wage.
David, are you familiar with the phrase clutching at straws? I hope that.
I'm sorry, you glitched. What's the phrase?
Does the phrase clutching at straws cross the pond in a way that you understand?
Piers, you brought this topic up.
What I'm saying is, you saying the only way it could work would be if Trump banged on about the minimum wage. You're missing the point.
Now, so far, what we've learned about Trump derangement syndrome, it's a very contagious cognitive disease. And people like David Pakman, they seem to be super spreaders of this disease because they have a platform and they give out nothing but disinformation about Donald Trump, right? Like they're coming in acting like Trump is supposed to be relating to the plight of the broke person, of the minimum wage employee. No, that's not what's going on whatsoever. They're all like, oh, well, he's just doing this for himself. He's doing it for campaign purposes. What else would it be? Like, seriously. Like, Trump knows minimum wage is kind of low. He knows this. And to go against that, to buck that information, if you will, Trump wants to do this. Check this out, you guys. Trump wants to eliminate income taxes for all Americans. There is a way. Now, right off the top, that sounds like a preposterous idea, right? That just sounds crazy as hell. But our government used to work that way back in the 1800s, as a matter of fact, before income taxes, right? And then when income taxes was implemented, it was only supposed to be for like the top 20% of people. And slowly but surely, that just got stretched to everybody. Now, almost everybody has to pay income taxes. As a matter of fact, technically everybody does pay income taxes, but the bottom, I don't know, like 30% really don't pay because they get it all back at the end of the year. Like the vast majority of Americans, they get all that money back at the end of the year. So it's like pointless. Why do they even pay income tax anyway? But that's not really the point. This point was to get exposure to Donald Trump. He's just getting out there working the fryer. It's just a campaign event. Like, what else do you want to say? Of course, that's for his own personal gain. He's trying to become the president. That's what an entire presidential campaign is. It's for the campaigner, right? Like, what else would it be? the term clutching at straws is very, very apt for this, and you gotta love it. You gotta love how these people just can't seem to understand what a campaign stop like this does. What this does. It's a viral moment. It's meant to spread the word about Donald Trump. That's all this is. This isn't about the plight of the minimum wage employee or nothing of the sort.
And an astonishing survey has just come out today by the United Nations that reveals that female athletes have lost 900 medals to transgender rivals competing against them in women's sporting categories. This is a UN report. That's 600 female athletes in more than 400 competitions have lost nearly 900 medals in 29 different sports. When the average American sees that both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris now support this unfairness, and that's what it is. It's just unfair. It's nothing to do with being transphobic or anything else. It's just unfair. And when it's supported by a report like that from the UN, that's one of her problems too, is that people think they're supporting the indefensible. They lack basic common sense. What do you say to that?
I'm struggling to think that you're taking this any more seriously than as something that might generate clicks on YouTube, Piers.
Wow, you don't think that's serious?
Hold on, Piers, I can't even get a sentence out.
What, you don't think it's serious?
Hold on a second. The vast majority of those instances in the UN report are outside the United States and have nothing to do with the president or vice president of the United States at its face. And secondly, I would challenge you to tell me the quotes that Biden or Harris have put forward wherein they have weighed in on how sports leagues should be handling these decisions. But 92% of that study is not even in the U.S. So I don't even know why you're bringing this up.
What's that got to do with the principle of the principle?
I'm sorry?
What's that got to do with the principle?
Well, the principle is you're saying Kamala Harris and Biden have come out in support of this.
They do. They support policies which actively protect. They support policies that protect transgender athletes performing in women's sport. And I think that is madness. You're saying, well, because most of these things in this UN report were outside of America, it doesn't matter. It does matter.
What I'm saying, it's a completely contrived issue that almost no one cares about in every single opinion poll.
Wow.
So I guess because he doesn't care about this, he thinks everybody else doesn't care about this. As a matter of fact, a lot of people care about this very issue. Yes, women in men's sports, men in women's sports is a very bad thing. This is why traditionally we have created sports specifically for women, because women want to play sports. And to say that Biden and Harris don't support this, that's outright insane. And as a matter of fact, I've got the proof right here. I always love to bring the receipts. So check this out, you guys. More say birth gender should dictate sports participation. This is a news article from a poll that was put out, I believe, in 2023. Let's see what's going on here. A large majority of Americans now, 69%, then in 2021, 62%, say transgender athletes should only be allowed to compete on sports teams that confirm with their birth gender. Likewise, fewer endorse transgender athletes being able to play on teams that match their current gender identity, 26% down from 34%. So to say that nobody supports this or thinks about this, no, this is wrong. There's poll after poll after poll after poll, and they're very consistent. About 3/4 of the American population disagree with putting men in women's sports and women in men's sports. They say it's a bad idea. This is common sense. Right? It's very stupid, and it's part of this woke ideology garbage that obviously David Pakman supports. But to think that nobody cares about this? Like, really? Really? And what do you mean Biden hasn't? Show me the statements. Yeah, I can show you the statement. Title IX, for crying out loud, where he totally revised the entirety of Title IX, which was supposed to be women's protections from sports and in colleges, and a litany of various things dealing with women. It's supposed to be protections for women, and he comes out and just totally changes it. Pretty much nullifies women's protections outright, because now he throws in gender identity with everything, pretty much nullifying that and making it mute, like totally screwing everything up. All of the gains that we have made in women's protections, women's sports, all the feminism movement was summed up in Title IX, and Joe Biden comes in and just outright destroys that. So what do you mean? Where are the statements? Yeah, he's made statements before. Title IX proves that outright. And then this is another news article. Check this out, you guys. First on the Daily Signal, most voters oppose allowing transgender identifying males to compete in women's sports, but only 36% are aware that Vice President Kamala Harris, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, support that policy. Nearly three-quarters, 72% of registered voters think biological males should not be allowed to participate in women's and girls' sports, according to a new national polling from Scott Rasmussen shared with the Daily Signal. Rasmussen polled 1,000 registered voters on Monday and Tuesday. On Thursday, the Biden administration's rewrite of the Title IX took effect, adding gender identity to the list of sex-based protections in federal law. That has the effect of allowing men into women's private spaces, athletics, and educational opportunities. Federal judges have blocked the new rule from taking effect in 26 states, yet the majority of voters surveyed did not know Harris supports allowing males to compete in female sporting events. Yes, because she's not talking about it, right? Not talking about it at all, because she knows that three-quarters of Americans pretty much agree that men should not compete in women's sports and vice versa. This is just idiotic coming from David Pakman, and shows he's out of touch on this issue right here.
You see, I think that's incredibly deluded. People do care about it. They care about the integrity of women's sport.
It just doesn't show up in any opinion poll as a primary issue. Not top 10, not top 20.
Out of interest, do you think...
They care about it,
but it doesn't
show up in a single poll.
What's your view? Do you think it's fair?
I think that it depends on the sport, and I think we need to talk about this for probably 90 minutes to really have a productive conversation.
Really? So when you saw the Paris Olympics and you saw two gold medal winners in women's boxing who actually were born with biological male chromosomes, you think that's right?
That is not the truth as far as I understand it.
Really?
I don't know who you're talking about. If you can name them, then maybe we can get into more detail.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. It was well publicized.
Well, tell me. Tell me who you're talking about.
I can't remember their exact names. There were two gold medal winners. Well, I can find them now if it helps you. I don't know why the names matter.
The one who was the source of a lot of viral articles was born a woman, always lived as a woman, always competed as a woman. I'm sorry?
What was her name?
Imani something.
All right, so you don't know either. So don't be quite so patronizing if you don't know either. But the truth is...
Well, you're bringing it up, Piers. See, here's the thing. Hold on a second, Piers. Hold on a second. You do this all the time, Piers. You bring something up, and then you evaluate your guest's opinion as to how much it matters. You brought it up. If it doesn't actually matter, don't bring it up.
No, just to be clear, you were haranguing me for not remembering the name. I said the name's irrelevant. What's relevant is whether the gold medal winners have biological male chromosomes when they're getting into a boxing ring
they do not.
And punching women in the face so hard that one of the women competitors, a female, quit after 45 seconds.
Yes,
because she'd never been hit that hard.
There is nothing to the story that the boxer that prevailed was ever a man.
Wow.
Just nothing.
And yet you know
nothing.
that
There's no evidence of it. It was a viral right-wing story based on nothing.
Hang on. You know that boxer was banned from the World Championships precisely because there is evidence. You know that, right?
Yes. Do you know the details of that, Piers? Do you know? Tell the full story. Go ahead. Tell the full story.
That boxer was banned, along with the other one, from the World Championships because it has been reported that they tested positive for male chromosomes, right? If you know better, tell me.
That's not the full... I do know better, and I will tell you. That was done by a Russian lab who had an interest in disqualifying her because it jeopardized the undefeated record of a Russian boxer. It's just, that's all they have, and it's totally debunked. Piers, I thought you were better than this.
It's not debunked, and you'll regret saying that because it's true.
You gotta love how David Pakman, he tries to come in. He tries to, as Piers said, harangue him for not remembering the name. That's ridiculous to do in the first place. Like, you don't know the freaking names either, but then they start talking about facts, right? The Russian lab. Then he goes on to say, well, you got to tell the whole story, and then makes up a crazy conspiracy theory about how all the Russians just screwed over the lab results because they wanted their person to win. Like, what? Like, that's a conspiracy theory. You're just making stuff up here. Like, seriously, if you can't come based on the facts, and the fact is that she was tested, and she tested positively, whether she was a female or not, right? Like I know there's a lot of controversy, and that whole situation is quite contrived. But that whole controversy, I mean, the test results were the test results, and she was banned from the World Championship for doing so. Like it just makes no sense. You're gonna come in and make up a conspiracy theory about something that you believe because a news source said so. Like, where is their sources? Like, who believes this anyway? And does that matter? Because they were banned anyway. David Pakman tries to come in and tries to bring the facts, and then he brings conspiracy theories and gets destroyed in the process. He tries to flip everything around on Piers, and Piers ain't having none of that whatsoever, because, you know, Piers, he loves to come in with facts as well. And when you try to come in with facts and then throw conspiracy theory on top of that, yeah, that's not going to work out too good for you there, buddy. You got to be a little bit more precise with your wording, a little bit more precise with the facts. Just base your opinion upon the facts, and that's it. Like, we don't know for sure if she should be banned or not. Like, she says, claims to be born as a woman, spent her life as a woman, and yet she's got the wrong chromosomes to be a woman. Now, I know that's a situation that happens, and hey, look, I understand that, but you can't expect to not have a controversy around when you have some messed up chromosomal issues going on there. Of course, there's going to be issues on that, but you just love how David Pakman comes in and just outright gets destroyed in this one, and you gotta love that, y'all. But I think I've wrapped this one up quite goodly, if you ask me. But y'all do me that big favor, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with everybody you know, and anywhere and everywhere you can, because I need some help, y'all. I really do. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay logical. Peace.